Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Another amazing day on PulseChain. We're going to talk about it all. Hope you guys enjoy it. We're starting earlier today because I'm doing a back-to-back show. So we're going to be slightly shorter on this one, but we're doing a back-to-back show that will end and start. So we're changing topics though for the second show. So that's going to be on Taurus. We're going to be covering 3 weeks of Taurus. So that's going to happen probably a couple minutes after this show. It's just the way we're doing it. I think it's a bit of fun. So it's going to be a lot of cool things happening there. Yeah, exciting times, guys. I mean, aren't you excited? Things are really starting to ramp up. So kind of cool. Get in there, folks. Get in the chat and share it around. Actually, let's share the show around on X. And if you're on YouTube, of course, don't forget to share as well. Share show on X. And bam. And so there we go. Let's put that out there. As you guys know, we're streaming to 3 YouTube channels and stream to X as well. So 4 different channels at the moment. And of course, get out there on X and repost that. It's definitely a lot easier to share on X, although the share button on YouTube works. But X is the social media platform, isn't it? So get out there, folks, and share. The sharing is caring. We're going to get into a lot of it. So the title of the video today, I set this up yesterday because this is what's happening, guys. PulseChain crypto takeover. That's definitely happening in the mix there. Liberty Swap helping with that, as well as all the rest of the community and all the rest of the utilities that have been setting up. There are rumors of a listing. Liberty Swap dropped that yesterday. That was pretty exciting. And of course, we're going to talk about PUSD ALGO stables as well. Not in a full sense like I was planning to, but we're going to cover that off also. So it's going to be a great show. Great show coming up. So very exciting there. Let me see. Let's pull up something. I just got missing something off my list here, but we're going to pull it up. Get in the chat there, folks. Say hello, and get out there and share it on X, and let's get ready to rump. I reckon. So yeah, let's let me just find the link here. I'm going to pull this up for the end of the show topic. Bam. Let's go now. I'm going to make sure things are in order here. I'm going to push that all over there, and let's have fun with that. I think we're in good stead here right now. Bam. All right. Yeah, I think we're looking good. All right. So get in the chat there. Say hello. Without further ado, let us jump straight into it, shall we? We're going to get into the stock market, I think. Just going to quickly check my chat just to make sure I've got everything up and running on that. I have. So let's jump over to actually a Liberty Swap. Let's go straight to Liberty Swap later. We're going to get to that when we get to PulseChain. And we're going to start off with the stock market as usual, kick into gear and then jump straight to crypto and on and upwards from there. All right, let's go. Bam. All right. Oh, I haven't even got the screen on there. Let's go back here. And make sure I get set up properly. Bam. Yeah, I was going to start a little bit later, 15 minutes later, but then I decided, oh, what the heck? Let's just go. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm hyper bullish about PulseChain. Are you guys hyper bullish? It is getting really exciting, guys. Really exciting. Yeah, crazy good. So yeah, we're gonna have probably some special guests tomorrow. These guys are amazing. So trying to set that show up at the moment for tomorrow. So I look forward to that. They are some of the biggest influencers on PulseChain, and man, they're doing crazy good job. It is awesome. So we're probably having that tomorrow's show. So there we go, something different for the Crypto Night Show. Without further ado, though, let's get into the stock market. And we can see actually S&P 500 falls after pairing gains despite Microsoft and Meta jumps. So we have the Magnificent 7. We had 2 last week. We've got 5 this week, if I get my numbers right. And so we're still expecting 2 more for tomorrow, right? So Friday's numbers. So, but Microsoft and Meta did well, but the S&P 500 still fell. We've got the Dow Jones there down 0.75% at 330 points, down to 44,130. We've got S&P 500 down a third as well, 23 points to 6,339. And finally, the NASDAQ down just a tad, 7 points to 21,122. So just a nice little breather the last 2 days, really. Sometimes it's probably good for the stock market to have that. The Dow Jones at the moment is the US dollar at the moment is up to almost 100 again, 99.84. So the US dollar been strengthening there, up 0.25%. That's pretty interesting turn of events. Let's jump over to the commodities. We've got West Texas at $69.37, so oil's definitely gone up a little bit. And we've got Brent oil there at $71.78, but it is actually down 1% today. And then gold sitting at $3,343 and silver at $36.77. So silver getting rejected there at that $40 mark, but getting ready to rumble for the rest of the golden age of America, which is going to be pretty cool. Now, we've obviously got things happening with Meta and Microsoft. The first results from the so-called Magnificent Seven group emerged after the close of the previous session, with so it emerged after the close of the previous session, with tech giants Microsoft and Meta Platforms impressing after blowout second quarter results and guidance. Meta Platforms stock soared after strength in the Facebook-owned crucial advertising business powered better than anticipated sales in the April to June period, raising hopes that the company's artificial intelligence investments are beginning to bear fruit. I've seen some mixed, commentary on the revenue model for AI, but we've definitely seen a boom in AI agents and all that sort of related stuff from the retail. And of course, the businesses are taking up pretty quickly, along with governments, right? Unfortunately, maybe organizations like Palantir and stuff like that, it's all going to end up in control. Too many people, they love the idea out there in control. So we know the Democrat Party would be keen for that. AI played a major role in results from Microsoft as well, with the nascent technology supercharging performance at the software's giant's cloud computing division. It's pretty crazy. We also had the US labor market remain stable. Data released early Thursday showed that the number of Americans filing new applications for unemployment benefits increased marginally last week, suggesting the labor market remains stable. And of course, we just saw the GDP number come out, right? So, US doing super well. Thought it is taking longer though it's taking longer for laid-off workers to find new opportunities. Initial claims for state unemployment benefits rose 1,000 seasonally adjusted to 218,000 for the week ended 26th of July. These numbers will serve as a precursor for the all-important non-farm payrolls reading out of Friday. So we've got more magnificent companies coming out on Friday, and we got the non-farm payrolls. So still quite a week this week, isn't it? What a week of news flying. And of course, we had the Fed with no change. Of course, ridiculous move. The Fed was no change. Ridiculous. Now, even though we don't get the interest rates down and we get cheaper costs into the economy on the financial markets, and of course we get risk on from that, we do get the benefit that because costs are expensive, they pump out more liquidity, right? So we do win on that side of things. Kind of ironic. We kind of win-win, but we'll probably overall probably win with the interest rates going down, right? So they still have to print quite a bit of money, but that's kind of the edge there. Consumer spending increased in June after showing no growth in the prior month. And of course, that probably flowing with some GDP readings there, or really bullish, while a reading of underlying inflation edged up slightly in the latest batch of barrage of economic news. So we've seen very little inflation rise there. The Fed chairman was completely overplaying it because they were really trying to get at Trump, right? That's basically what they're trying to do. They really ramped up there. If you compare the speech to the last speech, they ramped up intentionally. So such a political nonsense. It's just, and the American people are the ones that pay ultimately, right? Personal spending, which accounts for over 2/3 of the economy, rose by 0.3%. So the economy is doing pretty well, right? So very, very cool. What else? We've got, of course, PCE, stripping out volatile food items and fuel, came in at 0.3% month to month and 2.8% year over year, as was the case with the consumer price index and the producer-owned price index. So remember, the PCE and the consumer price index are both retail inflation measures. The PCE is a broader measure, and then the producer price index is pretty much like factory gate prices. There is evidence of tariffs placing upward pressure on prices. This is in some sectors, something that will play out further in the coming months, considering that import taxes are only now just seeping into the data. So this is the argument. And the other part of the argument is that inventory replacement, right, with higher priced goods. But of course, then they don't talk about the counter argument, which is around import price adjustments as well. So they leave certain things out kind of friendly for themselves. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. And of course, Trump talked about that, saying Jerome, too late, pal, has done it again. He is too late. Put another way, too late is a total loser, and our country is paying the price. And that's true. It's true. People are going to look back on Powell's decision, and it's not going to be good. Not going to be good for him in terms of history. Fed Chair Powell chose to put himself back in direct collision course with the president, suggesting it could be viewed that the Fed are looking through tariff-induced inflation by not hiking rates today. And that was the ING analyst there. The other big news that we had, of course, was around South Korea. So I said it was a packed full week this week of news, and it's not over yet. We've still got tomorrow. And of course, Trump announced 15% tariffs on South Korea, 25% on India. So, another deal with South Korea before that 1st of August deadline, right? And of course, they wanted to get on there since all these other deals have been made. Will impose a 15% tariff on South Korea, and South Korea set to invest $350 million in the United States. So more money coming to the United States for the golden age of America. And of course, they're going to purchase $100 billion of energy products and beyond. So pretty exciting. Additionally, Trump signed a proclamation imposing 50% tariff on semi-finished and copper-intensive products. This is what Brendan was talking about yesterday. And of course, that pushed, made copper price plummet. He also announced 25% tariff against penalties on India, saying first of all, we're deciding the country's purchase of Russian military equipment and energy. So it's nice to see that despite good relations and making peace between between India and Pakistan, they are willing to put tariffs on when people are interacting with Russia there, trying to get the war ended, right? So I think we can all agree on that. And of course, the deals with several countries remain unresolved, with Trump's elevated reciprocal tariffs set to take effect on August the 1st. A lot of pressure on there. And I did see that there was an extension for 3 months. Just can't remember the country, but they got a 3-month extension for the tariff negotiations. So that's still going. But at the end of the day, I think by the 1st of August, most of the countries, the big countries will have been done. We might have 2 or 3 countries that have been given an extension, and the rest of the small countries will get letters, basically. So we're almost there. We're almost there on the old trade deals. Obviously, some of the key ones there. Looks like the Chinese one, too, is progressing pretty well. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Let's have a look at the Fed monitor to see a day after what the market is thinking about this big interest rate cut in September. And we have no change, 60%, expecting a no change right now. And Jerome Powell will definitely go down in history as the most bipartisan dork in the world. We've got 40% of the market still expecting a rate cut of 25 basis points. We've got a long way to go before we get there, 6 weeks and 5 days, 17th of September, before we get any interest rate cut. But it should be severe, right? It really should be. A rule of 1-to-1 is normally a pretty good rule with interest rates. At the moment, we've got inflation, maybe let's say 2.4 to 2.8, depending on which one you're looking at. We've got federal fund rate at 4.5. I mean, come on. And look, last year we had the election on, right, with Kamala, and inflation was like, what was it? I can't remember exactly what it was, 7% or something. It was really high, and they did interest rate cuts back then. See what I mean? So it's just ridiculous, So pretty crazy. So that's politics for you, and the Democrats don't mind if the American people burn whatever in whatever form. We got Franklin, we got Q Baller in house there, Morning Hawk, it's Q Baller, big shout out. We got Frank White as well, bang bang, Pulse Gang, good to see you, Frank White. And we got Tyndale in the house there. Tyndale posted the stream. I appreciate that. Very, very cool. Doing Clark Kent's work. Thanks, super. I appreciate that, Tyndale. Getting a few more people talking about Clark Kent. Hey, so that's kind of where we are with the stock market and economic news. We've got more tomorrow, of course, with the last couple of Magnificent Seven. And then, of course, we've also got the economic news as well, so non-farm payroll. So that's kind of where we are at the stage. So that brings us into the crypto markets. And we're going to jump down, I think, to here. Look, I moved myself around, didn't I, today? We're going to do some movie magic, shall we? No, let's move movie magic all the way up the top. There we go. Movie magic. All right, so we got the total market cap of crypto, 3.859 trillion, down 5.1%. We got coins. There's 17,851 coins in the CoinGecko index. We got Bitcoin actually down today a decent amount, actually, 1.6% at 116,000. But what we're seeing, I think, is just this really nice consolidation for Bitcoin before the big move up to like 130K or so. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Just like we had with that 100K for just a little bit, we've now got this, with 100 getting ready for the 130K move. Ethereum, of course, we're expecting beautiful things for Ethereum. Just nice little pullback today. So we're down 2.9% right now for Ethereum at 3,710. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. So we're just below the PulseChain sacrifice break-even price. And we've got XRP down 2.3% at $3. We've got the BNB at number 5, down 1% at $788. Solana down 3.1%, $172. We've got number 9 there, Dogecoin, at down 4.8%, 21 cents. And finally, to wrap up our top 10, we've got Tron down 0.8% at 32.5 cents. So that's kind of the top 10 right now. Obviously followed by Cardano or ADA there at number 11, and Hyperliquid there at number 14, followed by Stellar at number 15. So there we are. That's kind of where we are at the moment. The best performer overnight, what did he say? Bitcoin, actually. Looks like Bitcoin. Tron actually down 0.8%. So that's the best performer. And over the last week, what have we got? The best performer there? Tron is up 3.3%, followed by BNB up 0.9%. Everything else is in the red. So there we go. Looking at the top 100, let's have a look at that. We got Athena still crushing it, up 16% for the week, but down 5.6% today. Number 2 is Story IP, up 16%. And what else? We got XDC Network. That's been a bit different, so that's moved into number 3, up 14.8% for the week, followed by Kronos up 10.6%, and TunChain there for Telegram up 10%. So those are our top 5, and they happen to be over 10% as well in the top 100. Moving to the top 1,000, we got Bank R Coin, and we got Token Bot and AI Companions. We've seen AI Companions here before, but let's have a look at Bank R Coin, and this is sitting at number 455. And you can see that chart has only been around since 10th of December last year. So what's that, 7 months or something? And it has gone from quadruple 0.18. It looks a little bit like PulseX was, wasn't it? Quadruple 0.18, or at least this was the bottom price for Pulse, wasn't it? Quadruple 0.18, and we rallied all the way up here. Just as particularly got spiked yesterday, right? From 0.0061 to 0.001, 1/10 of a penny. Pretty nice. That's a pretty damn looking good chart, isn't it? So it's got to $100 million market cap too. It's the other thing, and it is on, was that base chain, is it? And pretty crazy. So AI crypto on Coinbase. There we go. Or Coinbase. So yeah, AI based crypto on Coinbase blockchain. Pretty crazy, right? So let's have a quick look at Bank R Bot. Is it something to do with stable coins or something? Trade with Bank R, your friendly AI powered crypto companion. What can I do for you? So you can actually ask questions. Give me bank rates there. Let's you've got some stuff there. I might put one of those in actually. Messages sent. This looks kind of cool, doesn't it? It's very interactive. Trade in private and terminal. We've got some X posts on X there as well, feeding through. What can banks do? Banks is easy way to trade crypto and more. Advanced AI agent that can help you swap, research, and more. That's kind of cool. It's kind of friendly. It's kind of antique looking too in that sense. Let's see if we get anything reply here. I got to sign in. Got to sign into there. All right, so there we go. That is interesting. What an interesting kind of idea. It's actually pretty highly ranked. I mean, you think about it, it's number 455, and they got pumped today. So maybe they had some news today that pumped that too. So worth checking out. The other one is a ZND coin. We'll quickly have a look at that. Looks like we have a bit of change here in the top leaderboard. There's number 748. It has been around since the 30th of October last year, so about 9 months or so. Bottomed out down here at 7 cents, and is now up at 39 cents. So a really nice rally over there. What's that, since end of June? So last month it's been really rallying on the back of the market. It is on Ethereum chain. Let's have a quick look at some. We've got a couple of different sites here, but let's have a look at one of them. And see what this looks like. Export, earn, trade, and borrow, manage your digital assets like never before, and so forth. Simple gateway to digital finance. You can earn, trade, and borrow. So there we go. You can check that out. And market cap 52 million right now. So let's go have a look and see what the final one is. We had one of them changed out, right? We had the AI one change out. So we've got Token Bot. This is at number 715. It's been around since what? Since November 24. So about 8 months or something, and it came down. We're about $25. It's now up at $56. It's got a $56 million market cap, and it's on base chain as well. So if we look at the website clanker.world, deploy a token in seconds. There we go. So pretty friendly token deployer. Champagne Clankers have got lots of different tokens on there as well. Let us know if you've been on any of these particular websites. for that one. So V4 is live. They say V4 is live. So that is pretty much it on the top trending top coins there at the moment. In the top 1,000 trending, we've got Pudgy Penguins. That's been trending for a lot of times, isn't it? On here, Black Hole trending and Plume trending as well. So there we go. Those are our crypto markets right now. We're going to jump over to the Bitcoin chart though. Let's see if we've got any more comments in the chat. Who else has jumped in here? We've got DG and Hexagon, Superman 5555. Absolutely, man. And PulseChain is unstoppable and unbreakable. LFGBB. I'm not sure what the BB is, but LFGBB represent. All right, so here we are with Bitcoin. So we can see the chart here. It's been playing out like a dream come true, isn't it? I don't know what button I must have pushed the button there. But it's been playing out like a dream. And of course, we're definitely down at the bottom of the range here. Look at that. But man, what a dream run this has been. And we're just getting warmed up, guys. We're just getting warmed up. Big tax bill came through. And then we had Richard Hart bet the SEC. So big tax bill on the 4th of July. Then we had Richard Hart bet the SEC once and for all. And ushered in a new era for PulseChain on the 7th of July. And what an era it has started off. We had obviously a lot of the tariff extensions. We had a lot of deals starting to get made. UK and Japan and all this sort of stuff's come through. We just got South Korea. It's really just ramping up there. Vietnam, I think, Philippines. I mean, lots of countries. And typically they've got tariffs of between 10 and 15%, most of them. Some of them a little bit higher, towards 19, 20%. And it's the premium to pay to access to the United States. And it's going to pay down, either pay down US debt or definitely lower the budget. And maybe even give people might get a little cash back. They're considering dropping some money back to the American people. So there we go. Winning, hashtag winning. And so then we got also, obviously, trade deal agreements just continue to go on. And then, of course, it gets us up to the 1st of August, which is where we are here. And we've pretty much had most of them. I think there's been one extension, I just can't remember the country, for 90 days. And so, yeah, it's going very well. Getting all those top 10 countries. I think just about everybody else going to get a letter, right? So probably 175 countries or something getting some form of a letter. And so, yeah, but I think there's pretty much a lot of countries will just have a 10% access fee to get to the United States. That's pretty much it. If they haven't already. Now, what we're moving forward into, of course, is August. And we've still got that Chinese tariff thing, but apparently that's proceeding pretty well from yesterday from Secretary Scott Bessent. So that's on track after their meeting they had just a couple of days ago. Keep pushing the wrong button here. And then, of course, we got this interest rate cut that we were expecting the 17th of September. We obviously didn't get one this week. But pressure on for that. We'll see how that goes. And, of course, there are 2 seats opening up in the Federal Reserve, right? And they're going to be filled by, obviously, Trump people. And then also there's also all the other I guess governors around the United States with the system. And what's there, 14? I think it's 14. And so they will there'll be a lot of changes there as well. So get big things back on track. You got to remember the Democrats economists in there, and people are terrible. So we've got to get the right people in and move forward for the golden age of America. So that is kind of the play there. And then we've got more stuff coming around the digital strategy, right? So August, September, October, with the digital strategy, that's going to include a lot of different ways for the US government to buy more crypto, in particular Bitcoin and crypto, right? So that's very exciting. We've already seen a little teaser from that, I think, yesterday from one of the advisors in that team. So that's something we're going to talk more about moving forward because that's the next bit round of crypto and bullishness from the sovereign state of the United States of America. All right, so that's going to play there. And, of course, regulation, deregulation, we're going to see more of that, particularly around banking incentives, particularly small, medium banks in the United States, being pretty much overlooked by the big banks, right? And the reason why big banks get a lot of preference is because Democrats love them, and so do the old rhinos in the GOP, all the backhanded deals and all that sort of stuff. I don't know if you saw today, but they've been doing this, not being able to trade information if you're in power in the United States. And, of course, you have, the Pelosi Act going through, right, which is well named because of Pelosi, getting super rich. And she knows nothing about the crypto, but outdoing indexes and people on the Wall Street, all the experts on Wall Street outdoing with their portfolio, becoming, hundreds of millions of dollars. So, and she's like on TV. Oh, I don't know, it just happened. It's like, I don't know why it's nothing. I've done nothing wrong, which is completely nonsense. And as you guys know, there's been indexes set up based on the trades that she makes because of all the inside information that she's been getting. And yeah, it's pretty much it. So yeah, at least they're going to try and cut down that corruption in the United States with that new Pelosi bill, and it's well named, right? So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now at the moment. So let's jump over into the big stuff that's really pumping crypto, and it's going to be pumping not only Ethereum, but of course all the EVM chains and PulseChain, and that is the Genius Act, which has ushered in one of the big mega themes on PulseChain, which is around stablecoins, and of course the impact that's going to have on the rest of crypto in terms of valuation. So at the moment we have something like 260, I think, $1 billion worth of stablecoins, and we just saw some big. I think we saw 100 million just minted yesterday or something. It was pretty huge. So we got lots. We're expecting something like 2 trillion from based on Secretary Treasury Scott Bessent. It's going to help shore up the United States dollar as well as the reserve currency, and of course 2 trillion, guys. We're going to go from basically a 10x in stablecoin supply, and that's going to flush through all the EVM chains in particular. Particularly Ethereum, and so it's going to be pretty exciting, and that's going to put more spotlight on our stable coins, right? Whether they're fiat backed or whether they are decentralized. It's going to give a lot more oomph to the stablecoin industry during this bull market, as well as the multiplier and circulating effects that it will have on pushing values up in multiples. So it's going to be exciting, guys. It's going to be exciting. We already see, because it's so damn good, we see the stock market guys, these experts like Tom Lee, coming in, setting up institutions, and they're setting up one after another. We've seen an absolute rampage just within like 4 weeks, and they're just getting started. We're going to see a lot more of these big rich guys from the stock market bring all that big capital into crypto. Remember, crypto is still a very small market, so 4 trillion is nothing. It's just a very small market, and so we're going to see a lot of the stuff come in, this money come in. The floodgates are open now. And it's only just begun. So these guys are all front running the move, right? They're front running the move and getting their ETH positions. And they're basically doing what Michael Saylor did with strategy and Bitcoin. They're doing that here in Ethereum. And so the race is on. It's like the big gold rush. And we've seen that every day. We see it's huge. But of course, Richard Hart himself, the founder of PulseChain and Hex, saw that and early. And he moved early. And he said, hey, get the PulseChain SAC on the strategic ETH reserve. And we got on there really early. I mean, this is how far ahead that Richard Hart is moving, right? So he's playing a chess game, and he is steps ahead of these guys. It is exciting, guys. It's exciting. So let's get into some of the stuff. We've got obviously the chart here. And now there is 2.73 million ETH on the ETH strategic reserve. Remember, give the context that there's 120.7 million ETH in total, and that ETH is now under the framework of EIP 1559. So we have the rewards for the validators, but we also have the fee burning rate. And so here we are, 2.73 million of that 120.7. Give you a bit of context. So that is 2.26% of the supply. We also know that something like 35% or so of the supply is also staked in protocols like Lido. I think they've got like 9 million ETH in there. So just give you a bit of context. And now we have all these kind of treasury holders that may or may be doing staking and all sorts of different types of investment with the Ethereum. And so here we are today, absolutely booming. Since the 4th of April, we've gone from 112,000 ETH all the way up. And there were only 5 people, only 5 entities on this list. And of course, PulseChain got them really nice and early. And then, of course, now we have 31st of July here. So a couple months later, and we got 64 entities now. So 5 entities to 64 entities. Pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy way of looking at that. So, and now we've got not only that, but instead of moving from 100,000 Ethereum, we've now got 2.7 million Ethereum just in a few months. It is crazy, guys. Absolutely crazy. And of course, worth $10 billion right now. But of course, as ETH goes up, that's all going to inflate all that value. Pretty crazy. So what do we had over the last wee while on the 31st there? We had a couple of, Ethereum Foundation is selling off 1,000 pretty much a week, I think it is. And so we've got that going down. We've got Ethereum name service going down a little bit too. Moss Ethereum's down a little bit. The Arbitrum DAO down a little bit. But we've got all these new entries like Zentry in there, 5,200 up today. So it's another 19 million. So Zentry there. And so we've seen these new entries as well. We've got the ETH machine as well on the 30th, another 15,000 Ethereum. Obviously one of the big ETH reserve acquisition vehicles there. So really, really exciting. Let's see where we are today. So we've got Bitcoin immersion there, 625,000 ETH. And as you guys know, this is Tom Lee. and he is targeting 5% of the Ethereum supply. So remember, there's 120.7 million ETH. He's targeting 5%, which is about 6 million coins. He's got 625,000 coins. They pretty much got that in the last month. And he's looking, that's only 10% of what they're targeting. And of course, they're forecasting $15,000 Ethereum by the end of this year, which is pretty cool. They targeted 4,000 by the end of the month, and they've been pretty good. I mean, it's pretty close to their target. So 15K definitely on the plate, and they're going to help make it happen because they want to get 6 million coins. They've only got 625,000, which is worth 2.32 billion. So yeah, they're going to continue to buy and push up the price of Ethereum, and it's all on the back of the Genius Act and the stablecoin boom that we're expecting. And as I said, Secretary Scott Bessent talking about $2 trillion at this game on. We also see SharpLink been moving pretty early as well. 438,000. They've obviously increased more, even though their gaming business is under pressure. And 1.63 billion. So it's a bit like McDonald's with their business. It's all about the property and location, and that really has helped McDonald's grow and survive with the asset base, right? Well, we're getting a bit like that with the SharpLink. The Ether machine, of course, has come onto the scene here. You've probably seen them on CNBC and all that sort of stuff. They're doing the rounds. And the ETH machine is now up at 334,000 Ethereum as well. And these guys have all just jumped on the scene and been buying up Ethereum. And of course, Ethereum's been pumping, and it's only just beginning. These guys are going to continue to accumulate. We've got the Ethereum Foundation there slowly bleeding out its ETH at 1,000 a week or whatever it is. So that's we expect that to slowly move down the ranks, take a little while, but that is there. And of course, a PulseChain SAC number 5, baby. Number 5 is alive. So that is super exciting, right? Super exciting indeed. About that, that's for sure. Yeah. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations. That's awesome. We got Coinbase there sitting below us, 137,000. We got digital there at number 7. That's another treasury acquisition vehicle. And then we've got the Mantle there, brand new with 100,009 there. How about that? Do you like that? That's what we're talking about. How do you like them apples? Pretty damn good there. So that is Mantle there, and the new as well. And then Golem Foundation, 100,000 as well. So we've got 9 different organizations now with over 100,000. And of course, PulseChain sitting right there in the top 5. It's a pretty beautiful spot. We've seen some write-ups too from some of the centralized exchanges talking about it, and they even included PulseChain in there. So this is where we get a lot of the attention, because all these news items of like centralized exchanges are writing about the strategic ETH reserve, and it's going to be a bigger theme as we go forward, because this is one of the mega themes this cycle. If not the mega theme, really, it's going to be massive, guys. And I guess outside Bitcoin, maybe breaking hundreds, the 100,000s mark, 200,000. This is massive. So this is huge. And it's going to be exciting. So people are going to make bigger returns on the Ethereum side, right? It is this game on. So then we got BTS, we got Golem and BTS there just below. It is another treasury vehicle. Expect that to continue to rise. So it's another one there. And then, of course, we get into many others. Gnosis Safe. And as I say, with the US government, number 12 here, with 60,000 ETH, they are looking at ways with this digital strategy to acquire more Bitcoin, right, and Ethereum. Ethereum would be in the altcoin stockpile. And so we should expect some interesting tactics there. One of the ones they've mentioned in the past is public-private partnerships. So that's just one of many of different measures that they could be using to get more altcoins in there. And of course, Ethereum is going to be the number 1, right, because of the Genius Act. These guys know this. That's all part of the plan. And so we're expecting more stuff for this in August, September, October. Keep a lookout for that. We had a little teaser this week, and we're going to break that down more, because that's such an important driver of the value of Ethereum. And of course, EVMs and PulseChain. It's going to flow. So Lido down there as well. Ethereum name service there just declining slowly. And we've got some of these other blockchains, Arbitrum and others, Optimism as well, all down slightly there too. So Arbitrum actually up a bit, but we've got Optimism down. So it is in the top 20. So pretty cool. We've got Game Square Holdings, of course, more Ethereum acquisition vehicles here. We've got ETH Strategy as well with 13,000. We're going to see how much power they've got moving forward. And then, of course, we've got Ink Chains as well, number 24. So a lot of cool things. And this we're going to watch this change from month to month. And I think it's going to be pretty dramatic as we move forward. And a lot of competition between some of these acquisition vehicles with the T's on them. And we're going to see more of those too enter the list here. Now, to get on this list, you need to have over 100 ETH. But we do have 2 new pending organizations, ETHZilla and FG Nexus. Now, as you guys know, there are a couple of Titanex groups that could get on here. One of them would be DragonX, and the other one would be I guess maybe not Helios quite yet. Maybe once they get the 888 payout, they might get there. And then of course Titanex is easily in there, right? So DragonX and Titanex definitely easily in there. And of course Taurus is not far away. Taurus is not far away. It's got like 84 ETH or something gone into it. So maybe a week, 2 weeks from now, Taurus might actually have enough ETH, get over that 100 mark, if it's got it in the buy and burn treasuries, to actually get registered on here as well. This is where all the good looking people hang out. That's the kind of thing. Anyway, so that's a real old school thing, but that's where it is. Yeah, and of course number 27. That's probably where the Titanex would sit, right around 4,400 ETH, and that would not include the 888 payout, which has got another 1,100, right? Because that would put it just above. So number 27, number 26, kind of where Titanex would be. Yeah, let's see whether they can get themselves on there. Highly encourage them to do so. So yeah, kind of cool. That is where we are at the moment. So we're going to keep check on this because this is so important for the big boom coming, guys. This is so massively important. All right, so if you're on X and you haven't shared the show around, don't forget to share it around. This takes a second just to repost that. Tyndale's already done it, so a big shout out to Tyndale. He's reposted the stream, so get out there and do that. Big thanks for that one. All right, let's move forward here. Remember, we're doing streams back to back today. They're going to be slightly shorter because we're going to be talking about Taurus next in the next stream. So that's why I've started earlier today. We're going back to back, so kind of cool. Let's jump over to PulseChain. PulseChain, Pulse Gains. Everyone likes to talk about PulseChain, Pulse Gains. And we got day 811. We're obviously not quite finished the day, but we're sitting at quadruple 0501. And before the live stream, actually these numbers look pretty similar. We had the price of Pulse at the moment, quadruple 05. So, I mean, that's fantastic, guys. That is really good. That's true. So yeah, 1.6% at the moment. We're back over half of the mean sacrifice price. Obviously, if you'd been a whale with a better multiplier, you'd be, you're probably maybe even in the money for some of them, right? So I think I can't remember all the levels from way back, but some people would be in the money from their sacrifice if you're a large sacrificer. But the mean sacrifice was 0001. And here we are at quadruple 05. So some people with the bigger multiplier would be in the money right now, but it's at 1.6%. We got PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0401, and that is at 40% of the mean sacrifice price, down 0.8% today. And then we got incentive token there, $2.36, down 1.2% today. So just cooling off a little bit there. And then we got Hex at the moment, which was the first one to really crush it, I think. That's at 1.28 cents. Down 5%, and EHEX there at 2,300 of a penny. EX got up to 0.27, so that was kind of the best it did, and then it kind of was struggling to get further as a lot of people were plowing in the PHEX and incentive token, etc. And incentive tokens kind of moved a bit late. Now, what we also saw once the RSI was getting really hot on that daily and the 4 hourly, even though we had plenty of room in the weekly, a whale decided to sell 25 million hex, right? And then I think that may have been the end of that little bit of run. But I think what we're going to see is we're going to see hex just consolidate a little bit, let that RSI cool bit, and then we're going to keep moving forward, right? And of course, there are rumors, of course, of listings, right? So this is in play as well. And we do have room on the RSI there for the weekly. We'll see how hot we will get, but a bit of consolidation never hurt anybody before that next big move. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Now, if we look at the last 7 days, we're up pretty nicely, right? So you got to be pretty happy the last 7 days. Pulse up 46%, Hex up 56%, Ink up 43%, and Hex up 66.6%. And then, of course, we've got the last 30 days, Pulse is up 109%, so 2.1x. PulseX up 2.1x as well. And then we've got Ink there up 58%, which is, a bit lagging, really, if you think about it. And then we've got EHEX up 1.5% almost, so 1.5x, almost 150% almost there on Hex. So Hex has had quite the recovery, and that's looking really, really good. So some interesting stuff there. Let's jump over to the gas prices. We've got 1.4 million beats, 2 cents for a PulseX swap right now. We've got validators at 52,800, so we're up another 200, I think, from there. And we've got the bridge there. Let's see how that's going. 106.9 million. So we're down. I think we're close to 109 million yesterday. So we're down, 2 million there, but still sitting pretty. ETH's definitely dropped. So we're about 7,050, I think, pretty much. We're probably down about 130 ETH there. at the moment, and DAI, I think it's looking similar to yesterday. And then, of course, EHEX coming back. EHEX coming back to, was it 2,200 a penny, has pulled that number down, right? But if EHEX gets back to 1 cent, that's $100 million almost of value in there just with EHEX, right? So it does take much to get that bridge looking even more juicy, right? Then USDC is at 17.2 million, etc. So not too many changes there as well. And we're going to keep a tabs on that wrap Bitcoin. Are we going to get any big move on wrap Bitcoin? I guess that's the other part of it. Hint, hint, wink, wink, as we say. So that's kind of it on the markets. Let's jump over to Liberty Swap. Liberty Swap's been driving a lot of the narrative, right? Liberty Swap has been pumping out all this bullishness and have blown up. They just hit 9,000 followers yesterday. They're now at 9,600. So they are blowing up on X right now. They're about to hit 10,000 probably tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised they hit it tomorrow at this rate. So that is pretty crazy. And yeah, they are bridging over and they've been ramping up the services big time, right? Bigly time. With USDC, USD Tether, but they're just expanding the number of tokens. They're expanding the chains, and it is, generally speaking, very efficient, super fast, because on-chain to on-chain, they manage liquidity, and they bridge it over through the official bridge, and they give us an incredibly fast service, allowing all roads lead to PulseChain. All roads lead to PulseChain, so they've been doing fantastic there, and they're getting picking up some really good stuff there. Now, they did 10 minutes ago. They did a daily report, another all-time high day. This is only 10 minutes ago. Just hot off the press, guys. Mostly bids, no pending. So mostly bids there. So that's pretty cool. No pending transactions, no failed transactions. So if you have used Liberty, you may be unlucky. I mean, a few people have a little delays, but they always fix it up. So they got a Telegram help center there. You can go get it fixed up. But yeah, very few, non-deliveries. And if they do have a non-delivery, they fix it up and you get the delivery basically. But today, no pending transactions, no failed transactions. So it's been working like a boss. How about that? So very, very cool. Liberty says we've defended it nicely. Whales might try to push it down to create a monthly low. Whatever, we'll keep bidding. So more money to flow in there to fight the whales. And so, yeah, pretty cool. So lots of people excited about that. All right, so that is coming in from Liberty. So looking good. What's there? 25 minutes ago. So these guys have been prolific on social media as well. Let's see how this month closes. Obviously, after that big move, trying to hold on to that 1.5% gain on the 24-hour for sure. Let's see. Friends, look up at the sky. Do you see a top? Exactly, because in Hexco, there is no top, not even a local top. So there we go. Some fighting words. So kind of cool. Let's jump through some of it. What else there? We're going to jump through that part. Let me see here. We're going to scroll through some of these comments. What did I say? We need to say goodbye to the zone. Quadruple 05 is an embarrassment, and we just talked about that, right? And so they want to moon from there. Now, SolidX pushed this out. So as you guys know, SolidX is one of my Magnificent Seven. A big shout out to Firewell and Randy Alasky. This isn't just a pump, they said. This is just in the last hour. SolidX doubled in price in the last 2 weeks, backed by over 18 million in liquidity across all main RH cores. I think this compares to PDC, which has got like 12 million or something. I think they proposed out by that. So yeah, now sitting at 328 million market cap, 500K volume, 10,000 holders. When the market turns green, liquidity is king. So that is from SolidX. And of course, we're expecting their big game, right? X game to come out. And of course, X game's been pumping in the charts. So looking very good there. Very nice indeed. So cool stuff. So nice work there from a good old SolidX. That's been a pretty cool theme. Yeah, really fun stuff going here. Destroy the bears that made us suffer long enough. Show them who is final boss. Keep bidding. And of course, we got not only are they on chain, but they're pretty much becoming our best cheerleader on the chain as well, as you can see. And I've used one of their pictures 2 days in a row now because they're kind of cool. We got one today. So direct price pressure makes a new record. Very cool. Yep, number one. So you guys can see these guys are onto it, and everyone's loving it. Everyone's loving it. Let's let weak hands bleed. I DCA'd yesterday, and now every red candle in Hex is personal. Oh, there we go. We got that going on. So lots of cool stuff there. You can actually see the chart from the Liberty Swap with all the green buys. Look at that, pushing the market up. Look at that, beautiful. Isn't that fantastic? So really good. More stables are flowing in, and of course, quadruple 05 per pulse is an embarrassment. Kill all the zeros. How about that? Kill all the zeros. And of course, we did a show yesterday talking about pulse to $1. And I think a tenth of a penny and 1 cent are definitely people can see sort of those numbers, but people find it hard to see a dollar. But I think once you get closer to a tenth of a penny, then people will say, yeah, maybe dollar's not out of the ballpark there. So we'll keep it on there. We'll see how it goes. But definitely, it is a fun ride for sure. Now we know it's possible because you can do some maths. You can say how much firepower and how would you set that up, and you could definitely see a dollar. But you got to set that up. We're expecting something like that to potentially happen with Richard Art's genius moves. So yeah, pretty exciting. A lot of interactions there. Let me just jump through a few more of these. Do it, but instead of buying a Lambo, get a hex tattoo. Oh, well, we're not into that. I'm not into tattoos myself, so I'm gonna jump through all that. We got crypto coffee. We've got lots of influencers there interacting with Liberty Swap. It is pretty exciting. So really cool stuff. Now we've got more cool things that are coming. We're front running every institutional investors who will eventually jump onto PulseChain. How about that? So moving the market before these institutional investors are expected to come in. And of course, we've got the promotions coming up in less than 3 weeks, right? All those digital items from Richard Hart. And promotions has already started to kick off with Liberty Swap. We've seen some big influencers with 500,000 followers jump into the mix. And the price is starting to moon in green candles. We're front running the whole altcoin season. It's game on. So very cool. PulseChain volume, look at this in the last 30 days. Look at it just climbing too. Woohoo! Up to $1 million. Look at that. And some folks are already thinking of leaving to chase green candles elsewhere. That's exactly how people lose face and lose money. Yeah, marketing hasn't even begun yet, so it's kind of trickled in, but it is warming up, guys. It's going to be absolutely crazy. I'm summoning the God candles. This is 9 hours ago, guiding everyone to PulseChain towards financial freedom. Now it's all on you, ladies and gentlemen. We're building a stronger momentum. Get your memes ready. So that is from Liberty Swap. So we got lots of cool things happening with Liberty Swap, and this is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And of course, as I talked to you guys about, they hit 9,000 followers. But I wanted to get to the post here from the Liberty Swap, and you can see that Liberty Swap has put out this post here. And this is the one that's the title of the video today, which this time it's going to be big. Huge. So how about that? This time it's going to be big, huge. Now, Dirty Crypto here says, I call upon the Dirty Crypto community. Everyone follow Liberty Swap. Go. Last countdown, they did result in a breakout of 2-year downtrend. We covered that yesterday on the stream. And because now it's time for up only. And of course, we got this here. Liberty Swap said, if I can get this count to 20,000 followers, I'm launching another round of countdown. Let's go. How about that? And of course, we're rolling through now. This time it's going to be big, huge. Rumor has it, whispers of a listing. So that's pretty exciting. Of course, we've already seen the Binance girl doing the CZ fingers for the first countdown. Can't say too much, but the streets are talking. How about that? So that really got things going. And that is the title of today's video, which is pretty exciting. Got to be pretty excited about that. Hey, we've got Hexvader in the house there. Big shout out. Good to see you, Hexvader. Harry Williams as well. Yo. Hope I didn't miss too much. No, we're just warming up here. We got Big Fat Daddy in the house there. What's the chance of it dipping and then bounce on Pulse? Well, we always have little pullbacks on the way to glory, and I guess we're having a bit of a just a break right now. But actually, we're holding at the moment, so we'll see. Matt and Bali says, "Howdy, pump those markets." Yeah, just even just if we can hold sideways or even down just a little bit, and then just let the RSI cool off, and then we can go for the next move up. It's kind of the play. So very exciting. So yeah, more coming. Rumors has it, whispers of a listing. Woohoo! So that is really exciting. So let's see what happens. And we've got rumors of a listing. We've got marketing about to ramp up in less than 3 weeks. We already see a little bit of it tinkling here and there. It is going to be a lot of fun, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right, so that is looking good on the old Liberty Swap. And yeah, let's have a look at the market. So what do we got now? Right now, we got $57 million in volume. Remember, we were down at like 12 million. Like, what was it? It felt like, was it a week ago? Something like that. We were down at 12 million. Here we're at 57.5, and we've got a massive green candles, and we've broken the downtrend as well. We're going to check that out. Check it out, the health of that today. But that was pretty huge yesterday. And we've entered the new age, right? The RH win age, the freedom age, the bull market age for PulseChain. It really is exciting. So yeah, we've got some new tokens here. Briar just launched an hour ago, up 401%. So that's doing pretty well. 83K volume on 42. Let's have a quick look at that. Not endorsing anything in particular, of course. Rack and Rochelle's Belgian holidays there. So Briar, that's the background there. I don't know who's launched it, but Rack and Michelle's Humble Dog Briar is tokenized on the PulseChain forever. I'm not sure if he's actually done that because I haven't checked, but let's see if it's got any links. It does have a Twitter link. Let's see if it goes to Rackham. Probably does. Now, anyone can make it go to Rackham, right? But it doesn't. Does it? It doesn't. No, it goes to Briar. It goes to its own little site there. So it's got its own little different site. But that is at 0002 right now. I don't know what the safety of it is or anything like that. Quick Intel says no issues, and so on. So, got anything other details? Not that I can see, but that is it right now. They do have a Telegram group. All right. So what else we got going? We got Umamua. This is just the object that's moving unusually. Umamua, I think it is. It's 00011. I'm not sure why that suddenly got onto the list, but it is up 7,500%. What else do we got? Froggo. That's been around for 12 hours. So let's have a quick look at some of these. These are brand new coins, not endorsing in them, of course. But that is where we are. 00011. Is it a spaceship about to land? We might need spaceships. Maybe spaceships could come, aliens could come and take away all the crazy progressives that are ruining the West. That'd be really helpful. That means all our leaders would disappear. That'd be great. So the Interstellar Wanderer is on the move. It's not a project, it's a phenomenon. So there we go. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Let's show what else we got there. Number 3 is actually Ricky Most Wanted has moved into the mix. So it's been around for a while. Pump Tires, Richard Hart. This is the original one, actually. This is the original one. Of course, we've talked about Ricky in the past. So big shout to Ricky ecosystem there. And up 26%. 0009. We've got Mars at the moment, up 29% as well. Been Pump Tires, been around 5 months. Trump's the Pump Tires up 5 months, been around. That's up as well. Actually out of order now, aren't I? So sorry for that. We got Protocol from yesterday. It's up 21 hours, and that's up 401%. We got PYX Index, been around for 6 months, up 114%. We've got X here up 39%, been around for 10 months. Mars, new Pump Tires, that Pump Tires there, up 29%. Ricky Most Wanted from back in, I think was it January earlier the year, I think, something like that. That is up 25% as well. And then we've got Best Everything also up 21%. Pump Tires. And then we've got Pump Tires itself is up 20%. So we've got quite a few Pump Tires, some new tokens in here, as well as good old Ricky Most Wanted there. And what else we got? TFC Fitzgerald, 16% at the moment. We've got Pump Tires Die around 5 months. That's up 16% as well. So a lot of Pump Tires. Then we're getting some OG Web Chef, right? So Missor there, up 15%. A blitz from the good old PulseChain farm, the new farm that's been really launched just at the right time, didn't it? With the market pickup, that's still up 13% here for the old blitz. And then we got X Game, as you guys know. So X Game is doing really well. It's just down 5%. Someone's taken a little bit of profit there in the last hour, but this has been on a tier that's up 13% right now. And then we got NPC up at 12%. It's been around for 4 months. And what else there? The other X has been around for 11 months, up 10%. RhinoFi. Now, RhinoFi has got a countdown coming, right? So RhinoFi has got their countdown. Look at that price chart. Woohoo! Now, I've been talking about this on X, posting about it. But this is, what is it? It's got this supercharged cycle about to go. It's on the countdown. Let's go have a look at it. It was also featured in the Monster thread this week, Monster number 12. Built to earn, built and defend the original combat token. I think we're going to hear more about these guys. And they've got 4 days and 16 hours to go until the charging cycle timer kicks off. So it's going to be fun to see that play out. They've obviously got a 6% buy tax. They've got, after the first 28 days, which will, I guess, ends in 4 days and 16 hours, the sell tax will go to 5%. I think it's been marching down from 25 to 6%. It will end up 6% on the sell side. So that's kind of what charging wallet 50% of the tokens. Token supply. So that is going to be kicking into gear. It's going to be fun to see that play out. Down cycles, charging wallet down cycles trigger burns to cut supply and reward holders. So woohoo! So keep a lookout for that. That is kicking into gear, and the chart is looking juicy. Rhino on the move there with a little bit of difference in tokenomics compared to a lot of tokens that we see with reflection taxes. For Investor there from OG Web Chef there on the mix as well. Number 20, $11.74 at up 9%. We've got Hex Pump Tires up 7.4%. Curve is up 6.7%, and PulseChain, the new farm, up 6% as well. USDC Pump Tires up 5.5%. PDC the Greys. We talked about Solid X liquidity being really big. Well, obviously, PTC the Greys is doing pretty well also, almost 5% there at the moment. And of course, liquidity, I think around about 12 million, if I remember rightly. Should we go in and have a look? They might have on their X account. So let's go have a look. We saw that Pump Tires was pretty huge. Let's have a look at what these guys are. Bam. I'm pretty sure they put out LP one here as well. I'm not sure who put that out actually, but I did see it. The size of the LP, that's not on the main account. So, but it was definitely pretty big as well. 12 million, I think, is the number we had for that. But PTC the Greys on the move, seeing some really nice things happening there. And of course, that is one of my Magnificent 7. So moving very, very nicely. What else? We got Ape and Pulse up 4.5%. So not too bad. Teddy Bear there up 4%. So we've come off all these double digits that we had. Obviously, we're having a bit of a breather here. And we're getting a bit of a jockeying opposition amongst some of the coins as well. That's kind of where we are right now. So I'm not going to go through the rest of them. That's kind of the top 30. They're up 3 or 4%, so not too bad there as well. We see some of the other ones that we've been kind of checking out. Sun Mini Meal here at 4.6 cents. That's definitely on a nice little slow comeback there. Now the chart's looking pretty juicy on there for a continued rise. So far so good there for Sun Mini Meal. Expecting some more gains there and some recovery of that value after the whale. It got rolled by a whale. We've seen a couple of charts get rolled by whales as they position themselves back in the Richard Art cores or so forth. So that's just it's part of what happens when we get cycling back into cores, and I've been talking about that for some time. So there we go. That's what's happened there. Algo also cooled off a little bit there just after its huge rally. We are expecting some big things for 9-inch coming up, and 8-bit Hex is back on the streets. Talking about big things are coming. So it could be something, a little tip there. And then Solid X, another Magnificent 7, had a really great tier. I mean, this thing was on the moon. Look at that thing. Got all the way up to $16.15. Just had a little bit of profit taking in the last day. But look at that over the hourly there. That's Solid X. So this is obviously another one of my Magnificent 7. And just taking a little breather here at 14 there after a little bit of profit taking. But this thing is looking exciting. We are waiting for the big news of this decentralized crypto casino to launch. So, and we're expecting 3 products. It's going to be pretty exciting. So cool stuff happening there. Some of the worst performers today. Well, Hex obviously just cooling off, down 8%. We obviously had a whale there sell into that move. And we're going to have a look at that chart now. So let's do that. So bam. So this is the exciting stuff. I'm just going to quickly review what we did yesterday. Just keeping track of the time here now. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to smash the subscribe button on YouTube, and on X, definitely hit the follow button. We're slowly climbing back to 1,000 followers. As you guys know, my original X account got taken down for no good reason. This is how that runs on social media, and so I'm having to rebuild. There we go. We got the Genesis era, right, for PulseChain. So we launched on the 30th of May 2023 after a fork of Ethereum on the 10th of May 2023. And then, of course, we're going, we're tracking along there. Optimism was in the world, and we had all these projects launching. And then, of course, the SEC came along 31st of July, based on some guy in New York that wasn't very happy with certain things. And they used that for a pretty weak form case. It was probably the worst badly written case. I mean, I think we could get just anybody to write something that would have been better than what they wrote in terms of trying to get Richard Art, full of really bad facts and arguments and all the rest of it. And so then, the Genesis era was over, and the SEC era became that dark cloud. And of course, that was what we had to endure. We had this big sell-off, of course. We had all the capital, tens of millions of dollars leave the bridge. And then, of course, we were down. So we went all the way down from pretty much the mean sacrifice price, actually, all the way down to quadruple zero 3,400. So it was pretty brutal. And then, of course, we saw a little bit of fight backs, right? These are weekly candles, by the way. We saw a little bit of fight back start to happen over the months following. And we can see we had a couple of green candles, so a couple of little God mode events. And then we had, pretty much the week of this October 23. Then we got to January 24, had another God mode event candle, right? And that pushed us up, and we rallied all the way through back up to over the mean sacrifice price, when we were up at 0.0017. So we were in the money, and we were like, screw you, SEC. But of course, we had more black swan. We had so many black and gray swan events. I don't know, was it like 20 different things? And of course, we had a lot of sack whales and all sort of stuff. And then we had the relativity plays back into Bitcoin and Ethereum and all sorts of things going on. And so we came down. And after enduring all that, we were back down even lower than where we were with the SEC event. We even came back lower down to quadruple zero 3100. And so then we had a nice little rally back. That was back in September 24. We had a nice little rally back to December 24 at the end of 24 last year. And of course, we got up to quadruple zero 87. And it was good times. It was good times. And we had several weeks in a row, right? So optimism was high. But we came up to here, and then we came all the way down from quadruple zero 8700 all the way down with more black swan events, all the way down to quadruple zero 1833. Can you believe it? That's how far down there we got the low. But of course, we slowly tracked back up. We were rallying back up into May, and we got back up to 4300. And then, but no, we're down again, and back there, waiting for the 60-day SEC thing and all the rest of it. The relativity plays into crypto majors, and of course whales as well. Selling positions and exiting. And of course, we got down all the way to quadruple zero 2300 on Pulse. And then, of course, we started moving further ahead, and we started moving into the 7th of July. So that's when 7th of July, we moved from the SEC dark cloud era into the green, beautiful, prosperous era of Richard Hart wins. And of course, that is the demarcation there, that final 60 days, no SEC appeal. And it was the final nail in the coffin of the SEC, and a victory for Richard Hart, for PulseChain, for PulseX and X. And of course, gave us some legal standing now with case law and all that sort of stuff. So it was pretty beautiful. And we ended up winning. And of course, just to seal that off, just to seal that victory, we had to get the chart back up, right? We had to get the chart back up. So we came from the quadruple zero 2300. We rallied all the way through, but we had the last little thing, just that last little stamp of approval to say it's all game on now. We had to break that long-term downtrend, right? Which was set up here by March 24. Excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze there. And of course, all the way to December 24. So we had this long-term downtrend resistance on this angular resistance, and we punched through it this week with the help of liberty, with freedom, and with prosperity, and of course, beating the SEC. So yeah, it is game on now. And liberties continue to ramp up. We're moving, 4 or 5 chains or something, moving to 40 chains and expanding all the tokens, bringing in more money and more buy pressure for Pulse. It is pretty game on. We're seeing quite the retail bound at the moment. We're still expecting a lot of the Richard Hart moves in terms of the money, how that could play out. There's multiple ways that it could play out, and maybe multiple ways are used. We could see multiple protocols and little tricks like that. And we also see the marketing less than 3 weeks away. So we are entering the era. And it's only just started. The retail book is very excited about it. And we saw some analysis there yesterday that the retail really is helping to push this move on. So, and of course, that's going to, we're front running the move from all the big money and the institutions. It's exciting. And now we've got rumors of a listing and marketing. Things are really on the turning point. So we're really this is the crossroads. And we got that seal of approval there. Be nice to see this weekly close, of course, and then move on to a new weekly candle above there. And it came on up and to the right. So very, very cool. We've broken that downtrend. And let's see, we'll just defend this angular line and move up and to the right. And we've got all the right catalysts to do it with, as I just mentioned there. So bring it on. Now, I've got some other orange lines, right? So the other orange lines, of course, is we've got the 18th. We've got some more news around that probably also. And then this is around the Chinese tax. And then, of course, we may also have stuff around the digital strategy there too. And then since 18th September, we've got the interest rates, right? So these are some key milestones here, in addition to what Richard Hart is doing in Liberty Swap and others. So very, very bullish. We also see that Rack and Rochelle is ramping things up with big 100 million Pulse giveaways. It's pretty exciting to see all that. And of course, Firewell out there doing his thing too. And that's going to be much bigger than people expect with a big marketing budget and lots of network influencers, not on PulseChain. And so it's going to be exciting, guys. Keep a lookout for SolidXY. It's one of my magnificent 7. So pretty cool. Currently at the moment, we're at quadruple zero 4900. And let's see how we get on. Here. And so far, I'm feeling pretty good about it. And but we are hot on the other side, so we're just going to let it cool down a little bit. So let's zoom there. And, I've got this little purple line here that I drew yesterday. Where we get something like that and leave the mean sacrifice price in the dust forever. Leave it in the dust. And of course, we did some pumpamentals, right? Yesterday, remember that? We did some pumpamentals. Do you want to do it again? I don't know. We're going long here. I'm supposed to be doing a double back-to-back show, so I'll be careful with the time. So yeah, it is pretty crazy. So PulseChain coin is looking pretty hot, and we're getting ready for coming in right now. On Pulse is like fantastic because we've just beaten that downtrend. It's been pretty epic. Who else we've got in the chat there? We've got Big Fatty. What's the chance of dipping and then bouncing? We've kind of talked about that. So the RSI, let's get out of here and put the RSI on. So the RSI on the weekly is down at 60. So we've got plenty of room to move and clear this zone. So that is definitely in play. The daily RSI definitely is a bit hot, so needs a bit of cooling here. But we have got some bullish crosses coming up. We've got some very mega bullish crosses here. The 50 coming over the orange. So if we just cool off and sort of zigzag here, maybe come down a little bit or zigzag just a little bit of time, then this golden cross it could be pretty cool. We just keep around the zone. And let's bring this averages up. Then we will pretty much have a good chance of crossing over there, I think. So just or maybe even a little bit of price pressure just to the upside. We just sort of a tinker, just slowly creep up, and we could get a golden cross here, guys. That is looking really cool. So I'll just let me zoom that there. So that's where we are right now. So we've got we've already had a bullish cross on the short term, the 9 over 34 day moving average, but we've got this cross coming up for the 50 day and the 200 day in orange there. So that's we've got a bit of a gap there. It's 3,600 and 3,300. So there's a gap there. Let's see how we get on. But that could be hyper bullish if we cross over that. Be nice to just have a little maybe testing back to 4,600 and then game off from there, right? Or even if we came back on the daily back to 43 at the worst. That'd be a decent little bounce back. But really, it'd be nice to bounce off this resistance. The support now hopefully becomes the support, and they'll be at 4,600. So maybe 43 to 4,600 be the mark, and then just cool the arrows off a little bit. And of course, let's have a look at 4 hourly there. That is definitely cooling off, right? So that's good. That's 60, giving us a little bit of room to move there. We've got Matt and Bali in the house there. Pump those markets. Absolutely pump those markets. We've got Sujit in the house there. Hey, good to see you, Sujit. Where can I buy this? Well, you can buy it depending on where you are. I don't know what chain you're on, but you can go to PulseChain.com and check that out. PulseChain.com. That's probably a good place to start without me giving a tutorial. But PulseChain.com or... that's probably a good place to start. And it's the official site for PulseChain, which is a whole blockchain as a fork of Ethereum. So check that out. That's a great place to start. And of course, if you want to find out more details, Sujit, we've got a Discord. Links in the video description. It is a paid Discord record, but you can join up today there as well. That's the link. Welcome to PulseChain, man. You're here at the right time. That's all I can say about that. All right, so kind of cool. Let's jump away to PulseX as well. And quick look at that. PulseX at the moment is on the weekly. And look at it. We're coming up to a bullish cross here on the weekly on PulseX. And I think PulseX is relatively undervalued. All right. So PulseX here is a crossover. So even though PulseChain might just, get that support at 43 to 4,700, then PulseX can continue to move, right? It's just like a leverage play like we see on Ethereum, and we could continue to move. So here right now on the weekly, we're at 58, just slightly lower than Pulse. But we're actually closer to a cross here on the short term with the 9 and the 34, and that it's a pretty bullish sign and crossing over the 50 as well. So that would be pretty cool. We don't have a 200 printed yet on the weekly, but that's pretty exciting. Now on the daily, you can see we're actually a little bit closer to on the crossover there from the 50 200, so we could get a golden cross. So that could be cool. So I'm expecting PulseX could really start to perform there. But let's look at the ratio to Pulse. As you guys know, there's a long-term uptrend, and we managed to just defend it really with a close above the long-term trend, and here we are at 0.8 almost, so we're almost at 0.8. So bring it on. So PulseX, yeah, that's looking good relatively speaking. So maybe a good place to park some Pulse capital there right now. So that's kind of cool. Let's jump over to the 4 hourly just to quickly look at that, and we're going to go back to the US dollar and have a look at that. So US dollar there, look at that. This is the daily, so let's go back to 4 hourly. And let's have a look. All right, so 4 hourly there. I think I've got all the logs. So 4 hourly there, we've got the RSI down at 58, so we've got definitely room to move there. So things are looking very good. Maybe we come back down to 50 a little bit more, just get a little bit of a breathe. Maybe we come down to like 30, 37. but definitely we've got support at 35.50. So maybe that range there is pretty good for a cool off down to 50 on the RSI, and then we can start moving higher on the daily again. We come back down and under the 70 and start moving higher too. So yeah, got good support there at 3,500. Let's see what happens there. So looking pretty good. PulseX there might be one of the leader ones there. Incentive token definitely got a lot of room to move there. 57, pretty similar to Hex. And we've also got a short-term cross coming up on the 934. You can see that right here, and that's looking pretty exciting. On the daily, we've got this golden cross also coming up here. So the chart's looking pretty good there. Got room to move on the RSI. And then a 4 hourly, are we cooling off? We are. In fact, it's even slightly more cooled off than PulseX at 56. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We've got good support levels on the horizontal and on the moving average of the 34 at 2.14 there on the US dollars, so $2.41. So yeah, incentive token, and of course over the 30-month period, it's relatively undervalued in terms of its move compared to PulseX, for example. Moving to Hex on Pulse, we've got some, we're a bit further away from the cross here between the 9 and 34, but it's definitely moving up there as well. And we've got the 50-day sitting at 97 of a penny right now, and we're above that at 1.2. So I think we're looking kind of nice here. Plenty of room on the RSI on the weekly at 57, even slightly weaker than PX. PulseX. Let's go to the daily. RSI is cooling off a little bit there too. We've got this golden cross coming up also, so you can see, maybe we just have a little bit of a breather, a little bit of consolidation, not come back too much. And we could have a really nice bullish crossover there, even if we just slowly just find a little consolidation and just move up slightly. Looking for this big next move, right? 4 hourly, RSI is almost back to the 50. So, Hex on Pulse looking actually quite good, isn't it? But we still might come back just a little bit more, maybe back and test either, somewhere between 1 and 1100 and then game on, if we even get to that. But definitely, I think 1100 on the mark there. But testing that 1 cent would be pretty cool. And then up and to the right, and the RSI is cooling really nice on the 4 hourly there. With the daily there needing to come back down just a little bit maybe. But we could zigzag, on the daily here, as long as we, cool off on that 4 hourly all the time, and we got plenty of room on the weekly. So that could be the scenario we see there. I'm going to put that at 60%, let's say. So slightly more likely than not is the case. All right, we're going to go Hex at the moment on EHEX. This hadn't really been abused in the chart in terms of a run up, but we got this is really cooled off, right? So EHEX, we might see some action there. And we're at 58 on the daily. So this one here, very different chart to the others on the old Ethereum. This is the bridged in version, of course, at 41 on the 4 hourly there. So, we might see a little bit of move on EX. Maybe it gets, depending on where PX comes down. If PX comes down, then obviously EX may move down further. But if PX is sort of, just stays pretty stable, as we said, it looks reasonable, then this might actually, maybe capital flows into the old EX there, and it's up to the right. So this is actually looking quite good, and plenty of room on all time frames on the old HEX. But of course, it's not PulseChain. It's not having that capital come over and stuff like that. We got a run on the mic here. Did anything end up happening with Binance and Liberty Swap? Well, no, it's just a rumors there at the moment. They're talking about hitting 20,000 followers, and they'll have a new countdown, which maybe that's related to the listing, because that's the only other sort of news that we've had so far. If that gives it any idea. But they reached, probably going to reach 10,000 followers tomorrow. So let's see if they continue to grow at the same rate, about 500 followers or more a day. They might be close to 1,000. So then, maybe they get there in a week's time, but they continue their run rate. So that's kind of the play there on Hex. Pulse Coin List, we're going to quickly look at some of that. Let me keep a look at the time here. I'm really well over the time I was going to do, but that's fine. Let's go down. We're going to have a look at PDI, which got pumped by a big whale yesterday with a 555 ETH whale came in, and I think it's still got millions of dollars of capital still left. So we could see a double move on this. It was buying into a lot of sell pressure. But let's have a look at the good old PDI. So it did some pretty awesome things. Got pumped all the way to 0.8 of a penny. And Somi was dancing and singing and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty hilarious. Go check him out. And 62 hundredths of a penny right now, just pulling back on that last move. But look at that zigzagging up, right? Zigzagging up there. Pretty crazy. So that is the mix there on PDI. The other big one that we saw yesterday was Wrap Bitcoin, right? Have one Wrap Bitcoin on PulseChain, P-Wrap Bitcoin as we say. and that would over $1,100. Well, it's come back quite a bit actually since then. It's down about 10%, and it is now down to what, 890 something. No, $904. So there we go. This is on the daily. And of course, yesterday, look at that, went all the way up to $1,119. Pretty exciting. The RSI definitely cooled off now, 56.2 on the daily. So lots of room to move for the old PRAP Bitcoin, and it's all the way down here on the 4-hour leak. Look at that. Woo! So Wrap Bitcoin looking pretty good, and it has bounced off this key crucial line of about $870. That's what our TO guru Brennan had in the mark, and it has bounced off that. So maybe it comes back to retest that one more time. But that is, Pulse Bitcoin looking good for the move higher. Really, really good there. So kind of cool. That is where we are at the right now. And we're going to get into, to wrap up the show, we're going to get into PUSD Algo. Now, we've talked about this before, right? So let's pull up good old GoPost again, and we're going to go to the stablecoin section. It's a bit like the supermarket, right? Go to the stablecoin section. We're going to go to the stablecoin section, and of course, we've got all our bridged-in coins, right? But we've also got our native coins to PulseChain, and we've got we've got 4 of the top 10 liquidity forks. There are about 35 liquidity forks out there, and of course, they have highly collateral stable coins, more than 100%. And so we got USDL, which is based on Pulse from Liquid Loans. That's $4.5 million worth. We got PXDC from Power City. Based on PulseX, that's $850,000. We've got HexDC based on Power City as well, and that's based on Hex. So we've got all the 3 cores of Richard Hart backing these stable coins, and they've got 273K for Hex, which is it's doing okay. And then we've got a 4th one, which is not on the list, which is Ink Printer from Fast Abdul, and that's doing about similar numbers as PulseX. They're probably slightly higher than the PXDC, closer to 900,000 the last I checked it, but pretty similar numbers. And they've also got their this floating coin as well with it. These are just the stable coins. They've obviously got their native coin for that, which adds extra market cap to these. But anyway, stable coins, you're sitting, I think, about $6-7 million amongst those 4. Then we've got Coast with 11 million. So Coast is our fiat on ramp. So we've got 3 liquidity forks with collateralization. Then we have Coast, which is a fiat bridge directly to PulseChain, right? So not the official bridge. And it's got CSD stablecoin there as well, $11 million worth, so doing pretty well. It's actually 10.8, isn't it? And of course, we're looking for PUSD Algo, right? The first algorithmic stablecoin decentralized on PulseChain. Really, I think the flagship of Jacob, one of the world's best, if not maybe even the best, definitely one of the world's best peer-to-peer developers out there. And there are a lot of good programmers. So he's probably one of the very best. And he happens to be on PulseChain, which is a really great honor to have him on here. And he's very creative from that point of view. Now, obviously, his flagship here is PUSD Algo. You'll probably see people like myself or Cult DeFi talking a lot about PUSD Algo. There used to be probably a good half a dozen influencers that used to talk about it. I think Jimmer Crypto was one. And there was a couple others out there too that used to talk about PUSD Algo. Now, it was on testnet well over a year ago, maybe a year and a half now, and it performed incredibly well. And basically, it's like Terra Luna, which obviously is pretty famous. Made a huge market cap for Terra Luna. I can't remember exact number it was now. Was it $60 billion or something? But this is a new version of a decentralized coin with Algo being the coin you purchase and PUSD being the stablecoin, which is a perfect brand name for PulseChain, Pulse USD. And this is going to be the first so we got 4 liquidity forks. That's one model that deals with collateralization and security. Then we have a fiat one, right, which is based on fiat dollars. And then the problem that we have is that we don't have any scalable coin that's potentially, not infinitely scalable, but definitely scalable, right? Well beyond the propensity for liquidity forks, which, you get up to a certain cap and a certain amount of coins won't go in there. Obviously, you go through cycles, but really much more difficult. But with an algorithm stablecoin, you really can scale those coins and stablecoin really a lot, right? I wouldn't say obviously indefinitely, but you can just continue to scale it at a multiple, let's say. So yeah, this is kind of where we are with now. And what's the secret sauce? Why is this different to Terra Luna? Is because it doesn't have people in it. It doesn't have flawed yields in it. And of course, it's designed to have basically miner bots, so bots running it. And this is kind of the secret sauce there. The other thing, of course, is going to have a double security level. It's going to have, or double stability level. It's going to be based on a liquidity fork, right? So they're going to back it with a USDL. And it's going to have, guess what? And this is, I think, a very important thing. It's going to have a V3 DEX as well. So it's going to be based on USDL. It's going to have a double support there with the old liquidity mechanism sitting behind it as well. It's going to have miner bots, of course. That's the secret heart source of it. That's the real heart of it. And then, of course, it's going to have a V3 DEX, which I think is brilliant. And of course, with a V3 DEX, you can have multiple clients out there all routing through liquidity, including DEX aggregators, right? So we've got a number of DEX aggregators on PulseChain. Obviously, the most well-known is Batias. And of course, they route volume through all these V3s. But this could end up being one of the biggest, right? Because it's going to have a V3 DEX with a stablecoin. And this could be massive. And not only that, but you're going to have DeFi attached to it as well, because you're going to be able to earn yield in multiple ways, not just one way, but multiple ways. So you've got these three really massive components ecosystem. But it gets better than that, because then you've got Jacob running other protocols like Mafia Game over here with its own peer-to-peer markets, and then on-chain bet coming up in September, which is going to be an omni-chain decentralized crypto casino. So we're going to have these two giant decentralized crypto casinos. We're going to have X Game with a very visual appearance, and then we're going to have on-chain bet with, I'd say, a slightly more nerdy approach to it. But it's going to be multiple chains, and these could all become clients into and other applications too, into PUSD Algo. So we may see this interconnectedness into Mafia, into on-chain bet, etc., on multiple chains. So pretty exciting where PUSD Algo could go, right? So this is kind of the lay of the land, and it's exactly what PulseChain needs to complement its stablecoins. And as we started off in the beginning of the show, we've got the genius coming with all these stablecoins, potentially trillions, and money is going to flow and circulate. And so, more eyes will be on stablecoins, on not only Ethereum, but on PulseChain as well. And of course, that also helps to increase the value and leverage of all the other non-stablecoin assets on PulseChain, what we call the volatile assets as well. So it could be massive, massive, massive. And people could really, really enjoy this. And maybe we get a bit of a little fraction of the Terra Luna FOMO, just a little fraction of that. And we do see some great things during this big boom. So that's kind of the play there at the moment. Now, obviously, people, you can participate in the contribution or sacrifice of this protocol at the moment. And now remember, this is different from other sacrifice projects out there, that basically 75% of the liquidity in this will be going into the protocol day one. So there's no holiday in Tahiti. It's pretty much all the capital will be going into the protocol, because you've got to set up multiple peers. So let's have a quick look at that. Now, if you do want to participate, the link is in the video description to that. You get a 90% referral. Now, if you want to get to this, there's two bonuses. There's a referral bonus, so you can get that straight away with the link in the video description. I'll also post it in the chat. But the second bonus is bonus X. It's a random number if you reach 1,000 in your contribution, and that's basically about $840 plus 19% bonus will get you to that $1,000. Then it will trigger that second bonus, bonus X, and you could get between 1.01 and 2X. Now, it's a random number. I don't know what it's going to be. You might be super lucky. It's towards 2X. It might be at the bottom end. That's just the way it goes. But that is what's potentially opening. So if you did $999, well, you'd be worth you doing $1 more, because you're going to get access to that second bonus. That's kind of how it works. And it could be up to 2X more times, which is a big deal. So you can get access to that. Now, all you have to do is you get your bonus. You use the link in the video description. And, of course, then you connect your wallet, and then you can send your tokens on PulseChain or Ethereum to this wallet here. So this is the wallet here, E223. Let's go have a look at it right now. We're going to go to Fatty. I think I've got this still up. Fatty wallet here. So this is from the PH Universe guys. You can track a lot of whales and all sorts of stuff on this wallet, which is pretty cool. We're going to put this address in and see what the value is of this at the moment, because as you guys know, they were talking about the fact that they may have to hit like $1 million, but now I think they think, we can actually probably do it a lot lower, maybe $500,000, and we can set up these liquidity pools. Obviously, when you put it into a V3 pool, you can do a full range, for example, and you can basically double the amount of assets in there, right? So you put in the $500,000, you've got to put the equal amount on the other side. And of course, you can make that equal pair out of thin air just by creating the tokens and match existing tokens like Ethereum or stablecoins, etc., into those pools. But they have to set up multiple. They have to set up stablecoin pool with PUSD. They have to set up the algo pool. They have to set up the other reward pool, which is in there as well. So they have to do that too, which is called Flex token. Any action you do on this protocol, you earn Flex rewards. That's the cool thing. So they've got these 3 tokens. There's also a wrap PUSD, but really it's just a wrap version that you get rewarded with. So that's basically you can unwrap it to Pulse. So there's really just 3 tokens here. So Algo is the main coin, a bit like in Terra Luna. And of course, PUSD stable is the stable coin there, which was CST and Luna, right? And then of course we've got USD. And then we've got Flex as well, which is a reward token for just interacting. Anything you do on here, you get a little bit of reward token there, which is a 10-to-1 ratio with Algo right now, 10-to-1 ratio. So it's kind of cool. So at the moment, the value of the sacrifice so far, the actual value is 252,000. I don't think anything's been moved as far as I know, but it may have, who knows? But that's the current value. And of course, if Ethereum does a 2x, goes to 70, let's say 7,000 or something, then this would get up to, close to $500,000. And that would potentially be a trigger for, being able to double up on V3. So that's kind of the lay of the land as I see it at the moment. And it could be pretty exciting. Now, to actually launch, though, they need an Oracle, right? So they can do a centralized Oracle in their own setup, but we need an Oracle for this to operate. And we've got Fetch Oracle, but really it's lacking because it's a fork of the Oracle from Ethereum. I'm just forgotten the name right now off the top of my head, but it's a fork of that. And so it's almost coming back to me, but not quite getting there. And then so we've got that, but then we're going to have Signum Oracle launch, right? Which was going to have all the bells and whistles. But that's been delayed, right? Tetra's waiting for it. It's close apparently, but we're not quite there yet. We're rooting for Stu to get it out there, and then we're going to have Signum Oracle come out within maybe 2 days to a week afterwards. But that's all pushing out. But there are potentially other solutions coming, and so there are. We'll keep a lookout for that. But maybe this comes up faster. And of course, we know that Jacob hired a whole team to build out PUSD Algo V2 with the actual launch live version. And they've been working on that for months now. So, just get excited. I think this is going to be pretty cool. And, of course, I know Jacob won't want to miss the bull market cycle with all the stable coins. So this is getting closer and closer. You will have to be patient with it, but that is kind of the play here on PUSD Algo. And we'd have our full decentralized crypto casino, a stable coin. And imagine this people will look at this and go, finally, someone achieved it. Someone achieved it there. And, of course, the secret source is the stability miner. This is the heart and soul of it. But it will be backed also, the PUSD backed on USDL. And, of course, we're excited about where this is going to go. So, the other part of the feature is that people help support the stablecoin by providing liquidity, and they get rewarded for that too, to the stability miner. So very, very excited. So, like I say, very different protocol. 75% plus of the capital is going to be used to put into the LP pools and to stability miners day one to get the whole system started, up and running. And then people can jump in, participate, and it's going to be really, really exciting to see this. And it is the thing it does solve for PulseChain. We have a scalable native stablecoin that just scales, and that's pretty exciting and help push up values as well, making a major contribution to the PulseChain revaluation, which is pretty cool. Nice stuff happening there. Obviously, there's cool things you can do on it. There's the dashboard at the moment. We're expecting a new version, of course, under Mix, but this is the first draft that they had. So we're going to have the stability miners. People are going to be able to earn. There's tokens. People are going to have all that sort of stuff there. We're going to have the mint. You're going to be able to mint, obviously. You put Algo in, you get stablecoin out. And then, of course, we've got stability miners. This is kind of the heart of the protocol. People provide liquidity, and the miner bots get in there, and they keep that stablecoin kind of separated, actually, from the Algo. And, of course, they are able to keep that stable. And we saw on testnet work like a dream. They had about, maybe 50 bots running, something like that, and it was keeping it really nice. And while it does that, it makes money doing it too. That's the other thing about it, right? And it was making pretty good money, actually, just keeping the peg stable, which is kind of cool. And if you're providing liquidity, it's going to be pretty cool. The other thing, of course, people earn, and you can claim your earnings here. You've got a couple ideas. The more things you do, anything you do on here, you're going to get Flex, the reward token, which is pretty cool. And, of course, you can stake tokens as well, and get Algo and PUSD. And they've got random maturity times, so it really messes that around. People get different yields. So it's kind of cool from that. And then, of course, people can redeem PUSD Algo. So it's the opposite of minting, a redemption. You can turn your stablecoin back into Algo. So it's got a supply and demand dynamics there. And, of course, people can swap. This is going to be really important, I think. This is the V3 DEX. And so we talk about a 9mm and 9-inch, and how they're going to get revalued. Well, with this, you're going to have all these different coins on here. This is an area we might see actually hugely expanded, because if you've got all these different swap offerings, it just adds all that I guess, swapping site that 9-inch and others do as well. So we might see a build out of that on here. And of course, that would probably integrate really well with on-chain bet and with Mafia. So we may see this interconnectedness, which expands this whole ecosystem dramatically. You got to remember, we're dealing with pretty much one of the best world's peer-to-peer devs in the world. So he's building, the high-end protocols, and it takes a lot longer, right? So, but he's still got to make sure he hits the bull market, right? So hit the bull market there. So that's kind of cool. And we've got unwrapping as well for the PSD. So this is pretty exciting. You got to be patient, but yeah, I really feel like we're getting near the word on the street. It's on the move with the old oracles and the protocol development. So yeah, let's wait patiently for that, and let's see where we end up. But at the moment, you can contribute. You'll have to be patient though, yeah, we're up on the mix there. So watch Ethereum go up. The faster that goes, we're expecting 15K Ethereum. This could end up with $1 million anyway by the end of December. Right, so bring that on. Remember coming back to BitMine, they're going to be getting 6 million coins. They're going to push the price up to 15K. Then this could very well be $1 million anyway. But probably the trigger is really $500,000 in my view. And then you could double that up in the V3 pools with the full range, and it's game on. And you can set up all those liquidity pools, as I say. So I think it's pretty special, PUSD Algo. It could certainly be one of the major contributions. And of course, if it's successful, then everybody will be looking at it because they go, whoa, someone built a truly successful decentralized stablecoin. And of course, during the stablecoin boom, which is a mega theme here. So the sacrifice / contribution is open, I should say, and the links in the video description if you want to get access to that. You can find it in on YouTube there, and I'll probably post it under the or maybe I should post it there at the moment. Let me just jump over here again. Let me just find it over here, and we're going to post that in the PUSD. Let me just find it over on this browser, and we'll post it over on X. If you guys are watching on X, you can check it out. But let me copy it there now. PUSD Algo, bam, bam, bam. So that's the post there. I'm going to post that in the chat there if you guys want to get access to that. Check it out, do your due diligence, of course. And I've done a whole video series, actually. You can search that on YouTube, the whole video series on PUSD Algo with the actual founder, Jacob, from over a year ago. And there will be some changes since then, but that will give you the heart of it as well. PUSD Algo there, it could be absolute game changer. Just like Liquidity Fork was a game changer on Ethereum, this could be a game changer in terms of how PulseChain and one of the key contributions that people will say, hey, that was pretty amazing contribution there to global crypto, which are pretty cool. Now, I think that's pretty much it on there. Let's quickly pull up the old X account. We're going to post that link there if you guys are watching on X. Let's go underneath the show there. I'm going to post that as well if you want to get access there as well. So there we are. Someone said, what is PUSD Algo? Bam, that is the link there. Learn about PUSD Algo, and I think we've got the link there too, don't we? We have the link there at PUSD. I think we've still got the link there. Have I got it? No, maybe I haven't. PUSD. I hate this, the way they set this up. PUSD. There it is. I had it. PUSD. Oh my God, PUSD. Yeah, there it is. All right, we got that, and of course, you can grab 19% referral bonus. All right, so check that out. I think it's going to be pretty huge, and excited about where that will be in the future. There we go. All right, so kind of cool. So if you're watching on X, that is the link right there, and I also got the X handle for Jacob's Jacob's protocol there. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the show on that one. We covered a lot, man. We covered a lot. So yeah, we had some price floors, some price targets. We are definitely entering the golden age of PulseChain. It's going to be pretty epic. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, I'm just going back-to-back live streams. Now, this one's going to be shorter, obviously, because I've been going for an hour and 33 minutes here. But catch me just in a couple of minutes, and we're going to be doing a Taurus review for 3 weeks. Now, it'll probably be a much shorter, maybe 20 to 30 minutes. But we're going to go through Taurus on Titan X, which I think is a game changer. I think Cryptographics is doing something really special here. He's flipped Titan X tokenomics on its head, and he's got a big roadmap as well for supply and demand syncs as well. So Could be pretty cool. So catch me on that one. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And yeah, we'll see you for the next show in about a couple minutes. And then tomorrow, I could have a very big PulseChain team on a live stream with another team. We could end up having 2 teams. I don't even know if I've done that, have I? I don't think I've done that. So that could be pretty cool. So check me out for that. All right. See you in a couple minutes. Keep a lookout on YouTube and on X. It's going to be a lot of fun. Take care, and I'll catch you very, very shortly. Let's go.